Cyril Gane and Alexander Volkov assess each other's skill set for the final time before their clash on UFC 310. The two heavyweights will decide which one of them is getting closer to competing for the title, possibly in the near future. As the rematch promises a dynamic battle between two strikers in the division, opinions about the outcome on this one are more split than expected. While some expect Cyril to basically do the same he did to Volkov in their first meeting, Alexander's impressive run since his last loss in the UFC, which came at the hands of Tom, has convinced a portion of fans that this time might be much different, with the Russian being able to mix it up more efficiently than in their first fight, possibly relying on his wrestling skills. Cyril's devastating loss to John Jones by submission, in which he looked lost and in panic. The instant John got hold of him, might have in fact given Alexander some alternative ideas of pursuing a win in this bout. On the pre-fight press conference, the two heavyweights commented on their intentions in this matchup.
I just made the history for us to do a revenge, so now it's just good history to do a revenge with him. Just a story. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. It was. I just use not right plan in this fight. This time it was another one.
And one last question, just for Cyril. This one is in 3 rounds, so does it mean that you'll have to go balls to the walls from the beginning and go really hard for 3 rounds?
Oh, yeah, of course, because at this time it would be for 3. You can take your time when you have 5, and because you must to keep your energy at the end. That's why I'm so excited about this fight. This is the same thing for him. We're gonna go for the high intensity, and that's so exciting.
Kamaru Usman makes a case for Aljamain Sterling in the fight against Movsar Evloev. A lot has been said about this featherweight matchup, and there are 2 most frequently asked questions in the analysis of this fight. 1, is Movsar Evloev going to prove that he's really as good as his record, and with an impressive performance, ignite much interest in a bout between him and Ilia Topuria? And 2, will Aljamain be able to surprise us and use his effective grappling skills to be victorious and secure his second win in the division and being considered as a challenger for Ilia's belt? We will get our definitive answers on these and all other questions regarding this fight when they get locked inside the cage very soon. Movsar is the clear betting favorite, but some see the value of Sterling's odds. Meanwhile, the former welterweight champion sees clear paths for Aljamain Sterling's victory. Kamaru's take on this fight differs from the opinion of the majority, and he explains what makes Sterling dangerous for Evloev in this fight.
I mean, it doesn't get any higher than going in there against an Olympic champion. Not just a Greco-Olympic champion, a freestyle Olympic champion, and he's able to get takedowns. Not just takedowns, he's able to get one of the dark horses, I think, of that division. Corey Sandman Sandhagen is able to go get him down on his back and put that fight away. So who and to say hasn't gone with guys like that. He's training with Patchy Mix, and these are guys that I'm sure he's rolling with out there in Vegas. So this is a very, very intriguing fight. But I think both guys are just gonna say, you know what, we're both good there. Maybe one guy attempts one time and then just decides, you know what, nope, let's just stay here and let's figure it out. One guy's working on his Muay Thai and they know it's improving vastly.
Not really.
And then the other guy, like you said, and the other guy has striking, like you said. So it's a phenomenal fight.
Magomed Ankalaev makes an interesting statement about Alex Pereira and hints that his grappling session with Khabib didn't go too well. With a win over Alexander Rakic, Magomed practically secured himself a shot against Alex Pereira. And after a 13-fight undefeated streak, he will finally get his opportunity to become champion. He's been eyeing a matchup with Alex Pereira for a long time and has always expressed confidence when speaking about their potential fight down the line. His English isn't great, so Magomed seems even more reserved than he actually is when he's asked questions in English, which need to be translated to Russian, and the same with answers. So, the media appearances he's in aren't the most entertaining for that reason, as a lot gets lost in translation, and the dynamic isn't the same as someone comfortably exchanging with a reporter in a language they're fluent in. When he speaks to Russian reporters, there's a different side of his personality that Russian-speaking audience gets to see. Ankalaev likes to joke around and trash talk about fighters and keeps a generally upbeat frame. In a recent interview with the Russian MMA channel Ushataika, Magomed called Alex Pereira a chicken that he's going to eat and accused the champion of doing everything in his power to avoid a fight with him. Magomed has known Khabib for years, as they come from the same region in Dagestan. Though they are not part of the same team, they have spent some time together during different camps. When the reporter asked him how Khabib would do if he ever came back to compete at light heavyweight, after bringing up the footage of him dominating Corey Anderson in grappling, this is what Magomed said, that prompted many to interpret it as him accidentally revealing a grappling session with Alex and Khabib. Quote, "Yeah, I saw how he controlled Corey. I wasn't surprised. I think he would do good at this weight class, if he can effectively take people into his world of grappling. And even with the champion, well, I don't need to speculate there because I know what happened. I saw it. But yeah, all I will say is, if a good grappler takes Alex Pereira down, he is getting mauled. That's one of the reasons he's been running for me," unquote. Josh Thompson is not sold on Shavkat Rakhmonov and likes Ian Garry's chances. The Kazakh prospect who holds an undefeated record and even more impressively, a 100% finishing rate, has been touted as the next phenom in the division for quite some time now. Since he first came on the radar as a potential title contender, after accumulating many wins in a row, all by finishes, fans were already getting excited about the possibility of a fight between him and Khamzat Chimaev, another phenom who was competing in the welterweight division at that time. Comparisons between them were frequent, though Shavkat wasn't able to capture interest and excitement from the audience nearly as much as Chimaev did. And this can be explained by Khamzat's dynamic and explosive fighting style, paired with his entertaining persona on the mic. Nevertheless, the high potential in Shavkat was clear. Ian Garry, on the other hand, despite his undefeated record, still hasn't convinced many that he can capture the belt and defeat the division's finest. Josh Thompson has a different perspective on this and likes Ian's chances to win.
And what we've seen with Shavkat is, and I know that people always rag on me about this because of the Chimaev situation as well. I'm not fully sold on him yet. Look, he's good.
Are you fully sold on Ian Machado?
I'm not fully sold on him either. But I will tell you this: I'm more sold on Ian than I am on Shavkat, just to be honest.
Okay.
Just to be honest. And then look, people are like, "Oh, well, Shavkat finished Jeff Neal."
Yes, he did.
But I also look at Ian Garry. It felt like an easier fight for him. It looked smoother. Things seemed smoother in that fight for him. And
he was more in control of the fight.
Yes.
Throughout.
Whereas Shavkat has enough holes in his games for Ian Garry to potentially exploit. And I think the fast twitch, the herky-jerky movements and technique of Ian Garry may throw Shavkat off a little bit.